Hi, so today we're going to be talking about using the render view, the multi-slice window, and the histogram in MRIcron. So what's the render view? What's the 3D volume rendering used for? So the render view creates a 3D volume rendering um, of your MRI or overlay. It is used for visualizing surface anatomy like brain, skull, and lesions, as you can see here. You can change the air skin threshold, search depth, and other parameters as well. So it can also show 3D lesions, create presentation-ready figures, display overlays like VOIs, like we talked about earlier, or statistical maps like the fMRI. So key controls. So what does the azimuth do? Azimuth is it rotates the brain left and right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Um, and then what does the elevation do? Elevation rotates it up and down, used to orientate the 3D view. What does the background menu do? So we can change the shading and the threshold, like the brightness, contrast, and transparency. And in the overlay, you can change the overlay as well. You can control how the VOI, the statistical overlaps appear. Um, Search depth, what is that, right? So search depth determines how deep the renderer looks for overlay voxels. So if it's 4, then only the first 4 voxels beneath the surface are checked. Good for superficial lesions, but infinite shows overlays no matter how deep, and it's useful for overlays that sit deep inside the brain, like ROIs. Behind overlay, um, uh, MRIcron only shows overlay voxels that are behind the surface of background, so only overlays deeper inside the tissue appear. Unchecked are the overlays that can appear in front of or closer to the brain surface. Um, so we talked about render window, but what is multi-slice? So this can be useful for creating presentation-ready visuals. MRIcron can be a little bit better for this, but this is also useful for it. So let's go multi-slice. So multi-slice shows many MRI slices at once, arranged in grids. This is helpful for overreading the entire brain, checking lesion coverage, showing anatomy in publications, creating figure panels with evenly sliced base slices. It's usually used in your imaging papers like this one here. Uh, this paper here is extremely useful. This paper here uses this paper here uses the multi-slice to show uh, the frontotemporal networks in the left ventricular nuclei in aphasia after symptomatic stroke. So you can see where the activations are happening, and you can see the different slices here as well. So after pressing multi-slice, what we can do is we can specifically go file, view, sorry. We can see, or we can orient it sagittal only, coronal. Usually axial is the most useful, but depends. You can overslice, you can cut, right? Overslice, make it closer together. You can change the orthogonal view, remove that. You can change the slice numbers to like 40. Let's say we can do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. You can change these views as well. So you can set the range of slices, the step size, number of rows, and as always, you can change the intensity and you can add the color bar as well. Um, right here. So what about the histogram view? So the histogram view just shows the voxel, it's the voxel intensity distribution. So shows the distribution of voxel intensities in your MRIs, useful for understanding intensity ranges, checking for bias or noise, identifying outlier voxels, selecting thresholds for overlay, mask, or segmentations, comparing scans with different contrast. So the x-axis is the intensity value, the y-axis is the number of voxels at that intensity. A plotted curve showing how intensities are distributed shown here. Um, This information can be useful for detecting any errors in your data as well. So this is a quick in the final video on MRIcron, and there's other tools like 4D traces as well that you can look at on your own. But these are probably the most useful tools, especially multi-slice is used in a lot of studies, and render as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and the tutorial as a whole.